the Gaymazing Race Elimination Station, Rich and Dom. We were very sad to see your exhausting mega leg end in this way. And one of the things that we wanted to start by asking you is, before we even get into the last mega leg of the race, how stressful or additionally stressful was it to have to be known as motivational speakers and like people who are Zen, etc., while you're being scrutinized on the race?
I think the whole thing is when you're racing, and whether you're on the race, off the race, racing or not racing, we need to remember that we can't allow other people's judgments to dictate who we are. Yeah. It is up to us, and to remember, look, not everyone knows our stories. Not everyone knows your story. Right. Not everyone knows other people's stories. So we get to remember, hey, we are going to run our race. We're going to practice what we preach, love and light, and we're human beings.
And for us, I honestly, a lot of people think when you're a motivational speaker, you're supposed to be able to motivate yourself and da-da-da-da. And actually, it's quite the opposite. Being a motivational speaker and helping others is about vulnerability. It's about sharing with the world. We are all human beings, and we all have fears and traumas and insecurities and struggles to grow from. And what we're doing and what we do is we say, we're going to go through it with you. We're going to open up ourselves and be real with you and cry with you and go through pain with you. But guess what we're going to do also? We're going to show you through our pain how we're going to push through, and we're not going to give up. That's what it's about. That's what it's really, really about. And so for us, it wasn't so much about, we're motivational speakers. We're, on the Amazing Race. It was about, we are on the Amazing Race. We believe in love, loving others, loving each other. I love this king, and making sure that we are truly authentic to ourselves and to what we believe
in. Oh, is Nicole frozen again?
I'm sorry, I'm frozen. I don't know what's going on for me.
Did you want to get in your next question, Nicole? Well, okay, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, on the mega leg, how long had you been racing by the point that we saw it as a second episode? And were you able to have snacks along the way?
Well, it was all in one day that we were able to go racing. And yes, we had our sustenance that we were able to snack on. It is physically, right, Nicole, very exhausting to continue to go, because you notice we started in the day and we ended late at night. So it was definitely not easy. I'm in the health and wellness space. I own gyms and the fitness. So the fitness element I was able to grapple with. It was the mental exhaustion, which you saw me going through, on the chiseling, that really can really get to you on the race.
Yeah, a question about the chiseling, because you almost took the 4-hour penalty there, right? And I saw, when everybody rolled up, everybody had that initial shock of fear at having to recreate this, very famous figure, right? So when, we saw you go through that journey of processing, okay, I can do this. But tell me about how long that actually took, and if it helped to see that others probably did that thing too. Because did you ever just pause for a second with just there's no way that particular team could have figured this out?
Right. So when we first got there, truly, you walk into this challenge and you see a square and you go, oh my gosh, they literally want me to create God himself. I'm just oh my gosh. And I told him, I said, Richard, the cast members are all artists and we're not. Oh my God. I was in shock. I was just and so for me, because I don't believe in giving up, I believe in pushing through. That's what I do. But I was kind of trying to be a realist. And I'm like, well, this is not my skill set. And I can't create this divine being, And so I really didn't want to take the 4-hour penalty. I did not want to, but I was trying to be strategic a little bit. And what you didn't know is that during that particular challenge, I was processing through a lot. When I was on the show, my grandmother was passing away. And so I was processing in that moment. That's what you don't know, through the fact that, am I going to see my grandmother? And she ended up passing away. And so I was going through that on top of the fact that we had to get this Michelangelo so perfect, right? And I've been through a lot in my life. I was raised in poverty. I was homeless as a child. And so seeing that I had to get this somewhat perfect, I was going through a transformation. I was realizing that I am imperfect. I have flaws. And although I can't be super perfect, I'm enough. So I was growing in that moment, and you guys saw me transforming myself and becoming a different person in that moment. So I'm grateful for that moment.
Honestly, that was one of my favorite moments of the entire show and us being there, because it was such a powerful moment. And I knew in that moment when we are faced with life and we're just like, no, there's no way I can do that. And to see that whole process of like, I can't. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I got to figure this out. I want to do this. I want to do this. That's what we go through as humans. And it's so beautiful to watch. And I'm so happy that we got to experience that together in Italy, and it was beautiful.
And he pushed me. You see this beautiful, empathetic, compassionate, loving sweetie. He got me through. And I had to read the clue again because it said chisel out. And that's when I got the idea. I was like, oh, you just got to chisel it out. So I was like, trying to, get it out of there. But it was truly a joy. And really, life is about challenge. And the Amazing Race gives you the gift of a compressed environment and challenges. And I'm grateful, oh so grateful, Karen and Nicole, for that wonderful challenge.
I'm so sorry about your grandmother. Thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for,
are the best, and they're the most profound. And I know that was like probably the worst, we were just so close because it's unconditional love, right? So, between a grandparent and their grandkid. Nicole, did you want to ask another question about their trip preparation?
I want to know how you mentally prepared for the trip, invested in mindfulness, and knowing you're about to be thrown into the most chaotic space.
Yes.
How did you prepare?
So we prepared in a lot of different ways. I think for me, I'm very calm in nature. And for me, it was very important to think, hey, look, the goal, how you win the Amazing Race is not getting first every time. It's not getting last. So keep level, keep moving forward at a good pace. And of course, we're always striving for first, but just stay level and we'll be okay.
And I think for us, it was utilizing the things that we practice in our everyday lives, like meditation and being connected in our spirit, and not allowing difficulties to make us get frazzled. Because during the show, there were moments where, of course, we're human, we're going to get uncomfortable, but we kept on talking to one another and saying, it's okay. And I meditated for him and he meditated for me. And in those moments that you saw, we really were sending love and goodness to one another, because we want to share with the world that love is most needed in a world that's very divided today, that we need more love and unity. And so by sharing that with each other and helping each other through, even though it was hard, not kidding you, we really were able to rise to our higher selves. So for us, it was the mental, the meditation, the trusting one another and getting through it together.
You also helped other teams out with your skill, like at the Ducati challenge. And when you saw people getting frustrated, and I remember like that just throughout having watched you, I was like, that's extremely generous, because the Amazing Race is so much, in many respects, about withholding information, right? And not letting people get an inch above you. And as you're saying, that's very draining of yourselves as well, because it's a kind of vulnerability and you put yourselves out there. So that was something unique, I think, that we saw on the race, is like sharing your resources, but that your emotional resources, and not necessarily just collaborating to get a clue correct or to solve a puzzle together or something. It really often had no race benefit for you all to do that.
And I want to say, Karen, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. I honor you for seeing that, because that is emotional resource. That's an emotional energy that you give. Whereas, someone might say, conserve that for yourself, conserve that for your partner. Why are you helping them, right? But what I saw in that moment, if you notice with Derek and Claire, which they're so wonderful and they did a fantastic job on Ducati, is that I wanted Derek to extend love to Claire in that moment, because they were, as you saw, they were trying to get checks and she wasn't getting it. And in that moment when we held hands and I said, in your heart, just give her your love. We don't have to be critical. And in that moment, she get her final check and she got it. And I was truly happy. I was truly happy. And I'm still truly happy that they are continuing their race. And I'm so happy with everyone, because for me, there's enough love and to share, and there's enough success. And it's okay. We feel we won because love wins in the end for us.
And on top of that, we know our world struggles a lot with unity, with love. There's a lot of division, and we're so honored to have the opportunity to have the platform to share that love. And it's important. Yes, we're on a show. Yes, we're competing, but to be able to help other people. And this is not just Dom on a TV show. This is Dom in real life. Literally, stop at a grocery store. She talks to the cashier and talks life into them. Like, reminds them, hey, you matter. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Like, she does that. And so her being on the show and talking to other people, and there's a lot of conversations we do not see on the show that happen off the camera, but she's all about love. She's all about helping people see their light within themselves. So,
and I will say this, and it's because of what I've been through, Nicole and Karen. It is because I've been through a life where I didn't have love, where I went through a lot, where I just wanted to be enough. And so, I just want my mission, my mission is to share that with the world from my heart. And I mean it with every fiber of my being.
Very true.
That's so incredible. And, we really appreciate that aspect of your presence this season on The Amazing Race. One last tiny trivia question. And this is a continuity question. And it is about, and I don't know if you've been asked this yet, about sometimes we'd see you with a mask in the car and sometimes we'd see you with it off. And once there was a scene where you had a mask on, then suddenly Rich had the mask on. So just give us a sense of what that was about. Like, was it about, what we don't see on screen and different crew people, or just different situations where you were, dealing with your masking sitch?
Yeah, well, it's in different countries that we were in. Sometimes, with the sensitivities with the country and respecting the culture and respecting the people, that was really important. So if we were in an area that more people had on masks, you would notice me, whether you even see me dangling off my ear, just so I was ready to put it on, just to respect if I was going to talk to a stranger who had a mask on, or who's seeing us run up there, with cameras, and they're like, who are these people? I just wanted to show respect and him as well. So it was kind of like an understanding of the sensibilities socially where we were culturally, and just trying to be sensitive to that, amid all the pandemic stuff we've been going through.
Well, you are perhaps among the most sensitive Amazing Race teams to have ever competed.
Right.
And
sure.
Thank you for bringing your message and your love and your light. And we hold so much love to your grandmother, Dom. And we were excited to have you on the race. Nicole, do you want to say goodbye to our new friends, Rich and Dom?
I want to take a picture.